In the era of Internet of Things, old electronic devices like my 20 years old mini hi-fi system are outdated. In this video tutorial, I'll show you how to bring life back into them and to kind of connect them to Internet with Raspberry Pi and an infrared add-on board. This is ANAVI Infrared pHAT, and it is entirely open source hardware add-on board for Raspberry Pi. I created it with a little assistance from my friends as a small side hobby project, and now I'm running a crowdfunding campaign to go for mass production. In this video, we're gonna use not only open source hardware but also open source software. This is the free and open source software called LIRC. It stands for Linux Infrared Remote Control, and although the website looks a little bit old and ugly, it is great software that is very useful. For this tutorial, you need ANAVI Infrared pHAT, a Raspberry Pi, micro SD card with the Raspbian GNU Linux distribution, and a USB power supply. Assembling the hardware is super easy. It's like child's play. You just need to plug the ANAVI Infrared pHAT on top of the 40-pin header of your Raspberry Pi. Furthermore, you can add some sensors, such as sensors for temperature, humidity, barometric pressure, or light. The form factor of ANAVI Infrared pHAT is just like Raspberry Pi Zero, but it's also compatible with any other model and version of Raspberry Pi with 40-pin header, including Raspberry Pi 3, 2, and the B+ model. The next step is to install the software. In order to do it, you have to open a terminal on the Raspbian GNU Linux distribution that is running on your Raspberry Pi. Execute the following commands: sudo apt-get update, sudo apt-get install LIRC. This way, you install the free and open source software LIRC, which stands for Linux Infrared Remote Control. After that, edit file etc/modules and configure the modules required for LIRC. The next step is to modify a text file called hardware.conf. Make sure that the configuration is exactly the same as the one posted in the tutorial in the link below this video. You need to edit another text file. It's called boot/config.txt. In it, you have to add a device tree overlay for LIRC and to configure the GPIO pins for the infrared transmitter and receiver. Finally, just reboot your Raspberry Pi and you're ready to use the infrared pHAT. The installation of LIRC has been completed successfully, so we can proceed with scanning remote controls. You have to point the remote control to the infrared receiver on the ANAVI Infrared pHAT. In my case, I want to scan the remote control of my old Sony mini hi-fi system, therefore I place the remote control just in front of my Raspberry Pi and the receiver on the ANAVI Infrared pHAT. Now, open a terminal and start executing commands. Be very careful with the commands below, because if you make a mistake, the configuration of the remote control will be wrong and the end result is that you won't be able to control your remote control. So, I repeat, be very careful. First, stop the system disservice of LIRC. After that, list all the buttons supported by LIRC using the command iRecord list namespace. After that, execute the command iRecord the /dev/lirc0 followed by the name of the file that you want to save the configuration. I want to save this file locally first and after that to replace the global file. After executing this command, you have to follow the instructions on the screen and to press a lot of buttons on your remote control. After completing the initial setup of the remote control, you have to specify a name of the button and then to hold it. You get a confirmation message that the button has been scanned, and you can press enter to continue with scanning the next button. In my case, the first button was key power, the next button is key volume up, and after that I needed key volume down. That's all for me, but if you want, you can keep on doing these steps again and again until you have all the keys that you want to scan. Finally, a message "Successfully written config file" should appear on the screen. Now, back up the original LIRC configuration file and replace it with the new file. In order to do it, you have to execute a couple of steps using root privileges. Therefore, type sudo before the commands. You're almost ready. Last step, just restart the systemd service of LIRC. Now we can test the configuration of the remote control by sending a command. In this case, I'm typing in irsend, send once, the name of the configuration file. In my case, this is home/p/lirc.conf, followed by the key that I want to simulate. And in my particular case, this is key power. And here is how it works. My Raspberry Pi Zero W with the ANAVI Infrared pHAT on it just turned on my old Sony Mini Hi-Fi system. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please follow the link below to learn more about ANAVI Infrared pHAT. It's an entirely open source project. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel and stay for more videos. In the next episode, I plan to do a video for controlling an air conditioning with the same ANAVI Infrared pHAT. Thank you and see you soon.